it was cool, you know. If they don't got me number one, then that's their opinion, but I still rank myself as the number one pound for pound in the world.
What a huge right hand!
One day you be like, all right, I hit my ceiling. Then there's a ceiling after that. You break through this ceiling and you're like, oh man, there's another ceiling up there. Let me go try to break through that.
Is that last ceiling Canelo Alvarez?
That means big fights are being made. Guys are coming together. They're saying, screw the politics, screw the promoters, screw everything. Let's make it happen.
I said before, the big, talented man will always beat the small, talented fighter. But Terence Crawford is not small. Terence Crawford is a big guy.
Sitting on the ropes and shaking his head is not how he wants to end this fight, however. Oh! Crawford gets up! My, oh my! What a shot!
I feel great. I never smoked, I never drunk, so my body is well preserved.
Does anyone really look at Bud Crawford and his recent performances and think he's slipping in any way? Do his reflexes look shot? Like nothing about that is true. It's
To the head and the body, and there's...
I do what's necessary to get the job done and secure a victory. And I feel like in the Canelo fight, I would do everything within my will and my power to do the same.
Bud Crawford is one of the best I've ever seen don the gloves. Razor sharp reflexes, counters, and a childlike joy when it comes to hurting his opponents.
I'm not going to say he's just as good as Floyd Mayweather. I'm not saying that. But he has some of the same traits defensively as Floyd Mayweather had.
Crawford's fights are like chess matches where he carefully dismantles his opponents piece by piece. His ability to switch stances seamlessly from orthodox to southpaw creates endless problems for his opponents and keeps them off balance. His sharp jab, precise counters, and ability to control range make him a puzzle that few fighters have been able to solve.
If he's switching back and forth, he's trying to figure you out. But once he stays in that southpaw stance for 2 or 3 straight rounds, he got you.
Keep digging in his ass every round. Like, he didn't ass up, beat him down. I'm big. Think he beat. He is in the hurt business. He breaks you down, he unlocks the key, and he gets rid of you.
So that just lets me know right there that I'm a threat to him. I'm a threat to him, I'm a threat to his legacy. He gave in and we started training like that, and something that was natural to me.
Converted southpaws, we've all seen them. Oscar, Marvin Hagler. But I've never seen a guy as dangerous from either side who doesn't favor either side. That's different.
2 different rhythms, 2 different angles. But Bud was able to make them one and could switch in the blink of an eye, turning his opponent's hesitation into opportunity, and that opportunity into domination.
I think boxing-wise, he's going to give Canelo fits.
Terence Crawford is the best fighter in the sport.
Once he got touched, Bud turns into a different animal in that ring, and he's hard to deal with. He's pretty much a savage once he gets touched, and you can't stop him.
Crawford's greatness lies in the fact that he doesn't just fight with skill, he fights with intelligence. His ability to switch stances seamlessly makes him a nightmare for opponents, forcing them to adjust to 2 completely different styles in the same fight.
Oh, nice uppercut from Crawford, his best punch. A little short left-handed uppercut.
Canelo's strong, and he's easily hit. Very easily hit, very easily. Yeah. Compared to when I fought against Crawford, I couldn't even hit. Clean. Yeah. So really, that's the difference.
I'm always in shape. I never take anything for granted, and I never go in a fight not prepared. So we 110% prepared.
Terence Bud Crawford is absolutely one of the most talented boxers in the world today, and he is undoubtedly the most accomplished American boxer actively competing. The 37-year-old Crawford is a 4-division world champion, having won championships at lightweight, junior welterweight, and junior middleweight. His record stands at a perfect 41-0, with 31 of those victories coming by way of knockout. Crawford has been competing at the championship level for more than 11 years.
Pound for pound, #1, going up against the former pound for pound #1. 2 top 5 pound for pound guys going at it. That is a can't miss fight.
For 37 years old, like, he's training like he's like 25. Like, I don't think there'll be no problem at all.
Why do you think Crawford's going to beat him?
Because Crawford could find people to fight like Canelo, who's amazing. Canelo has just, oh my God, like he evolved. I saw how he evolved defensively and everything. I just don't think he's as fast as Crawford. And I think Crawford is just a little step ahead as far as movement is concerned. And so I think it's going to be Mayweather Canelo Part 2. That's what I think.
I wouldn't be here if I didn't feel like I had a chance, and the fight wouldn't be made if the people didn't think I had a chance. So that's why it's one of the biggest fights, in the last decade, that could be lined up.
It's a great opportunity. It's a great chance for the team, man, to show that, how hard we've been grinding in the gym and how hard we've been grinding for all the years to get to this point. I'm excited. I know Terence is excited. I know the rest of the team is excited. It's going to be a landslide. It's going to be a landslide. People probably get upset at me because they think I'm disrespecting Canelo. I'm not. I just know what my fighter brings.
This is the best Canelo we're going to see in 20 years of career, and we're going to show it on Saturday.
Terence Crawford, with his new physique, the big muscles, what was your immediate reaction?
Nothing. Muscles for me doesn't mean anything. I fought before with bigger guys. It means nothing. But when I saw that, you realize he made a good training camp, and that made me happy because it's going to be a good fight.
Well, it's the fight that everybody's wanted, and we rarely get that anymore. So we have an undefeated guy against a guy who's been, the face of boxing for an awful long time. He's been in every big fight, a lot of big fights for the past 10, 12 years. And so now we're getting them together, even though there is a division in weights, and of course Crawford's moving up. So, but this is what everybody wanted, and it's rare in boxing we get that anymore. So I think it's great for the institution to have this at Allegiant Stadium where the Raiders play with 55, 65, 70,000 people, however many show up. This is just a huge, huge event for boxing. So it's great to happen, and it's great that it's happening in Las Vegas where so many other big fights have taken place.
So the first thing I'll say is I think they're both phenomenal fighters. One of the best fighters. Both are some of the best fighters that will ever be in boxing, period. And that being said, I think Canelo should win just based on the fact that he's the bigger fighter. I think a bigger, great fighter will beat a smaller, great fighter. I think, they both were arguably number one pound for pound in their given time. I just think Canelo just has the size advantage. He's quote-unquote struggled against bigger fighters. Crawford was 147, moved up to 154, fought one time, and now he's going to 168. He's not going to be the bigger fighter unless he really bulks up, which that itself could be a double-edged sword. Because one, he's going to be stronger, but two, is he going to be slower? Is he going to be used to fighting at such a heavy weight? I feel like he should have fought at least one fight at 168 just to really get a handle on all the weight and how he's going to feel. I think it's going to be a very competitive fight. I don't think there's going to be a knockout, if I'm being honest, but I think that Canelo's going to win.
He's only 34, but he's an older version of himself. And you see this a lot with guys as they age. You see less and less knockouts. Manny Pacquiao in the main event tonight, he used to be an offensive destroyer, stopping everybody. And then he got a little bit older and he stopped stopping guys. He still hurt guys, he'll drop guys, but he would go the distance more and more. I think we're seeing that with Canelo, this version of Canelo Alvarez. But he's still a true 168-pounder. He's still got very fast hands. He's very explosive. He is a good puncher. He knocks all these guys down, so obviously he has the respect to hit bigger bodies. He's fought as high as 75. So he's definitely going to have that size advantage. A guy like Crawford who's coming up so many weight classes. And it's not like he's coming up from his first weight class. He's coming up from his third, fourth weight class, and then he's jumping to weight classes. So the size difference is going to be there. They got different size structure, like body structure, their bones. Crawford's got to be really careful, even getting hit on the arms and the shoulders and the hips, where we've seen Canelo actually damage guys. Think of the Callum Smith fight where he's punching him in the arm. They're really dead at that left hook, which is his best weapon. So that's where that comes into play in terms of the size. Even though Canelo isn't that knockout puncher like he used to be, or a guy who gets stoppages, he's still much bigger and he can still punch.
You put Canelo on his back foot, he's a different fighter.
a completely different fighter when you put him on his back foot. Yeah, he can move a little bit, but yeah, he likes to come forward with that power. But you put him on his back foot, let me tell you similar too. You know this guy named Usyk who put Fury on his back foot? Yeah, push the pace on him. Yeah, with volume, feints. Put Canelo on his back foot, Crawford. That's what you gotta do. You gotta put him on his back foot. Hell to the damn yeah. That's how you get it done, man. That's one aspect that you're gonna have to do. And hey, I would advise you to do it as early as damn possible. Do it as early as possible, because guess what? If you do that, you're gonna get control right away of the judges, right? They're gonna be looking at you. You're gonna dictate the pace. You're gonna dictate the flow of the fight. You gotta have him react to you, not you reacting to him. That's how you gain control of the fight real quick, real soon. Get active with that jab.
We'll see what happens.
That's about the work with Boots. Did you work together one time? Was it over multiple days? And how was the work beneficial?
Yeah, more than one time, yeah, and he helped me really good, and I'm very grateful with him.
This is the first time that Canelo Alvarez has affirmed that Jaron Boots Ennis had been instrumental to his camp with his blistering speed, accuracy, and pressure to be able to mirror Crawford.
Do you think was there anything in particular that you guys worked on that you feel like was beneficial?
No, he worked his team. He's very similar to Crawford. He switched guards too. He's fast, and he's a pretty good fighter, so I work really good with him.
This is not a random pairing. Several years earlier, Canelo was training with the brother of Boots to face a second possible dangerous opponent. At last, history has taken a full turn when the younger Ennis intervenes, giving a twist to the preparation of Canelo. Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford is playing out to be one of the largest events ever observed in boxing. Bernard Hopkins is siding with Terence Crawford this time. He thinks that the weight might be a concern, but Terence Crawford has all the necessary skills required to outbox Canelo.
He has an 85+ chance to beat Canelo. Why? He's not going in there to prove something, which will fall into Canelo's hand. He would love for him to prove something. That means you will stay there and try to prove something.
The preview of this match has increased in expectation since the official announcement, and it is now at a fever pitch buzz. Fans and observers are dissecting and scrutinizing every angle, be it strategy or stamina, with every knowledge that this fight might alter the contour of boxing history.
Oh, if you mean about what is around the fight, yeah, is the biggest.
It'll be seen by the most people.
Yeah, you're right.
Stadium fight, the biggest event.
Right.
Event tickets have sold like hotcakes. The media hype has been tormented, and the air around Las Vegas already feels like something big is about to occur. It is not just a fight of champions, but a collision of legacies, styles, and eras, and each match will be a contest of the greatness of both men.
Yeah, you know, it's Riyadh season, Netflix, everybody around this fight. You can see that how big is this fight, no? And you have two of the best fighters, pound for pound fighters, fighting each other. So Saturday, September 13th, we want to see who's the best.
Both fighters' preparation and motivations had been dissected by Joe Rogan and his staff. They had compared Crawford's strategy, which they had characterized as methodical and purposeful, with one fighter who was accused of pursuing a money grab. They had cited Crawford's significant weight class jump and preparation time as proof that he wasn't taking the task lightly.
Yeah, you're not gonna be as fast. You're
Right.
not gonna
Like,
be.
he had to put on a lot of weight.
No, and
which makes
one
him
made a
slower.
career at
Like
that
their
weight
major
class.
adaptations.
The other one's just doing it for a money grab. He hasn't fought in 2 years.
Well, he was doing it for legacy, and he is like, he prepared for this. It's not like he just had a fight at 147 and then jumped up to 68 3 months later.
Yeah.
Like
That's a big jump, though, isn't it?
He did a
68 is
lot of
big
training,
jump.
put weight on, like real weight.
Yeah.
We'll see.
They turned their attention to boxing as a whole, from celebrity fights like Jake Paul versus Tyson to high-profile bouts like Crawford versus Canelo. He had noted that promoters frequently created a lot of hype around fights, but occasionally the action fell short of the hype. His remark had implied doubt about whether this fight would be spectacular or a failure.
I'm interested in that.
Yeah.
Just because I think Crawford's that good.
I just don't think. I think this is the problem with boxing. They build these things up like, you know, Jake and Tyson, and people think to me this great product, or Crawford and Canelo, and it's not. There's not much action,
bro. I'll tell you who's the real fucking deal.
When asked about Terence Crawford's physical state before their fight, Canelo Alvarez also spoke with a mix of excitement and respect. Canelo admitted that Crawford looks strong and prepared after watching the pictures and videos of him working out with a heavier weight. He claimed that witnessing Crawford in such good form only serves to increase his own drive and validate that the fight will be a genuine matchup of top fighters.
To Saturday, September 13th, right?
What do you think of this picture?
He looks good, but I like it because, you know, that's when you realize it's gonna be a good fight.
The two men have all-star resumes. Crawford is a non-losing fighter whose record places him among the contemporary elite. He is trying to do something that has never been done before, to establish himself unchallenged in a third weight category in the age of 4 belts. Showbiz the Adult, in his fiery analysis of the bout, the Adult made it apparent that he thinks Terence Crawford will be unable to handle Canelo Alvarez's size and strength.
There is something that I've known from the very beginning, that all the stuff I've mentioned, head movement, jab to the stomach, counter ability, resume, experience, all of that falls behind this one big reason why Canelo beats Crawford. Terence Bud Crawford is too small and not strong enough to block Canelo's punches. How are you gonna win a fight when you can't block his punches?
He made a strong case that Canelo's punches would be more powerful because of the risky gap created by the weight jump. He believes that Crawford may lose the fight if he is unable to counter the heavier man's shots.
Floyd couldn't block his punches either, but Floyd is so fast. But also, he was fighting him at a catchweight of 152, where he can carry the weight better. He wasn't 38, that's another thing. He didn't allow Canelo to get to him. Crawford at 38, weighing in at 168, fighting at 168, his legs aren't gonna have enough life to stay away from Canelo for 12. So what's another way to defend? Block. And he's not going to be able to block Canelo's punches.
In the case of Canelo, it is equally high. He is the most marketable star in Mexican boxing and still the face of the sport, and there is a segment of fans who think he has already reached the top. A win over Crawford will send a strong message about him as the master of the higher weight classes and capable of acclimating himself to any situation. The atmosphere was electrifying when Terence Crawford arrived in Las Vegas for the grand arrivals, but not everyone was welcoming. A noticeable wave of jeers erupted from some of Canelo Alvarez's supporters as he moved through the crowd. It was a quintessential fight week scene in Vegas, with fervent supporters demonstrating their devotion to their fighter and attempting to intimidate the opponent before the first blow is even delivered. Crawford seemed unfazed by the response, but it did highlight how intense the tension is before this confrontation.
A lot of boos when you came in. This is going to be a pro-Canelo crowd. How you feeling about that?
Oh, this ain't nothing different than when I went to Scotland and fought Ricky Burns. So I'm cool with it.
It's nothing different at Allegiant Stadium, the biggest fight since Pacquiao and Mayweather.
Hey, listen, they all gonna be quiet come Saturday. Hey, listen, they can't fight for him, so it don't matter.
what is at stake is much more than championship hardware, though there is no shortage of that either. The victor will walk away with the ring as the undisputed super middleweight champion, as the holder of all 4 major belts. It would be history to Crawford. He would become the first male fighter to have undisputed titles in 3 different divisions in the 4-belt era, and this would make him one of the most accomplished fighters of his generation. Brian Bomac McIntyre, Crawford's longtime trainer, responded firmly to the scene at the Las Vegas Grand Arrivals. He had just heard fans shouting that Crawford would run from Canelo, and he wasted no time defending his fighter's style and preparation. Speaking with calm confidence, Bomac reminded everyone that Crawford has never fought scared, has never backed down, and that his track record speaks for itself.
A lot of people in the crowd just now were saying Crawford's gonna run. Are you preparing your guy to run?
Do it look like he's prepared to run?
I've never seen him run, but they think he will.
Have we let you down yet?
Terence Crawford responded confidently and humorously to a question concerning the audience's accusation that he was running from Canelo. Rather than being fazed by the remarks, he flipped the story around and declared that if he had to run, it would be with his fists all over Canelo. His response demonstrated that he is not scared of the magnitude of the task or the intensity of the audience, and that he intends to face the Mexican champion head-on rather than backpedal.
And when they say you're gonna run, what do you have to tell them?
I already said it before. Before we got here, I said, I'm going to run upside his head. And that's what I said.
So he's going to run, but upside Canelo's head, according to everybody. That's right. I see.
I love each and every one of y'all, but come Saturday, y'all going to be crying like I said.
When asked about the boos and the doubters, Terence Crawford kept his composure and spoke like a man who's been here before. He reminded everyone that this isn't the first time fans have gone against him, and that outsiders can't step into the ring and fight his battles. For Crawford, the noise doesn't weaken his focus, it fuels it. He framed the negativity as extra motivation, like adding icing on an already finished cake, showing that he thrives on proving people wrong. Crawford said it's not the first time that people went against Terence Crawford, so they can't fight for him, so it doesn't matter to me. It just puts a little more icing on the cake. The size of this playing field cannot be ignored. Canelo and Crawford are almost in eye contact. Canelo with a height of about 5 feet 7.5 inches, and Crawford with height of 5 feet 8. But the actual difference is weight and natural size. Crawford is going up 2 full divisions between junior middleweight and super middleweight, a jump made by very few fighters. It is not a single division up, it is a leap into areas where the opponent is heavier, stronger, and better adjusted to the mass of the strikes. John Ryder contributed a voice of first-hand experience to the discussion, having previously shared a ring with Canelo Alvarez. Since he was speaking as someone who had experienced Canelo's presence firsthand, rather than as a spectator, his viewpoint carried more weight. Ryder presented the impending fight as a clash between 2 fighters from different generations, each possessing the unique power to abruptly alter the outcome of a fight.
Yeah, I think he's smaller, got the speed. Crawford is a special fighter though. He's one of them generational greats. Like, you got 2 generational greats going up against each other there. And for fight fans, it's a real treat. And listen, I'm sure financially they're both going to come away winners. But listen, it's a hell of a fight. And listen, I believe Canelo will come away victorious. But Terence Crawford has got the ability to make this really hard for him. The switch hitting, the punch variety, the punch volume. He's so smart with his hand placement, how he moves his feet. He can make it a nightmare for Canelo. But I just believe over the course of the 12 rounds, Canelo will grind him down with the weight advantage. And I'd say it beat him on a narrow points margin.
He went one step further, dissecting Canelo's fashion sense through the perspective of a man who has experienced it firsthand. According to Ryder, Canelo's threat lies not in a single blow, but rather in the stifling rhythm of his combinations, which put opponents under continual pressure. Even the most skilled defensive fighters are eroded by the accumulation, which is intentional in every move and shot.
It's not one punch power, but it's like it's the consecutive punches he put together. He can really load up, and he doesn't seem to fade. He doesn't explode with 3 or 4 punches and then need to breathe to go again. He'll do it, and he'll put the second phase on it and he'll put the heavy shots in again. So he's always there to throw. He's always in range to throw. He's always got the hands cocked to throw, and he doesn't waste much.
Canelo, however, is a genuine 168-pounder with extensive experience in the middleweight, super middleweight, and even the light heavyweight. He has taken bigger shots, and his style has been developed at these heavier weights, punishing body work, compact and explosive counters. This may be the difference maker on fight night. One of Crawford's longtime sparring partners, Steve Nelson, had voiced his disapproval of the ongoing emphasis on weight in conversations about Crawford's bouts. Critics had been pointing out size disparities since Crawford's career began, he had explained, but the fighter consistently managed to prevail. Nelson had underlined that he was confident that weight would not be a problem because of Crawford's versatility and experience competing against larger, more powerful opponents in the gym.
Man, the way that they've been doing Bud since the beginning of his career. Man, the weight. This guy is big. It's always been that. It's always been the only thing that they can point out. But they don't understand that Bud has 10 different ways he can win. That weight is not going to bother him, man. I'm telling you, he's been sparring us and bigger guys for years, and I punch hard as hell, so I ain't worried about that.
Have you noticed?
Steve Nelson continued by explaining how Crawford's physical attributes had evolved as his weight increased. He pointed out that Crawford's strength and power had obviously increased with his size. Nelson could sense the difference even in light sparring sessions. Crawford's physical force and pressure now resembled someone much larger than the welterweight versions that fans had previously witnessed.
A increase in Crawford's power.
Definitely.
Since he has
see my face.
The weight.
Definitely.
Yeah,
it's crazy because other day we was in there and we was just moving around. We wasn't even punching. We was just in there just moving around, and just feeling him and his pressure and his strength pushing me and moving me, like, it's crazy. It's different. It's different than a 47, a 40, a 35 Crawford.
To Canelo, a victory would drown out the critics who have doubted whether his ultimate days have come, and would also prove that he is one of the greatest Mexican fighters who has ever entered a ring. Both men know that the legacies are not only written with victories, but also with the quality of the defeated parties. It has only been made much higher by the longtime trainer of Canelo, Eduardo Reynoso, who has offered an unforgettable battle at the fight. He insisted that besides the toughest and most concentrated of his career, he has taken Alvarez through one of the most desperate camps of his career, which has sharpened every tool in his hand to smash down whatever impediments arise in his path. Reynoso alluded that the audience will witness a more renewed and more dangerous Canelo, a fighter who has introduced some more wrinkles to his already dangerous style.
This is the best Canelo we're going to see in 20 years of career, and we're going to show it on Saturday.
This combat also constitutes an interesting confrontation of styles. Crawford is largely considered one of the most intelligent boxers in the world at this time. He changes positions beautifully, employs angles effectively, and has a talent for scouting the opponents after the first few rounds. World-class fighters at lower weights have been neutralized by his footwork, hand speed, and ring IQ. The last challenger of Canelo, William Skull, has publicly stacked the deck in favor of that Mexican star before the Crawford fight. Based on his personal experience in the ring, Skull described the fact that Canelo has an actual advantage in this fight due to the size and innate strength in the super middleweight division. He mentioned that had the two men been fighting each other at the same catch weight without any rigid divisions, the fight would have felt a much more even one.
I think it's going to be a great fight. There is a disadvantage in regards to the weight class. If there wasn't, it would be a 50-50 fight, but because of this fighting at this weight class definitely benefits Canelo. I say about a 75% chance that Canelo wins the fight.
Before the Canelo fight, Crawford's longtime trainer, Brian Bomac McIntyre, had discussed his fighter's mentality. He claimed that he could feel Crawford absorbing the energy of the audience, including the jeers, and that the Nebraskan was accepting the role of villain before the fight. On fight night, Bomac expressed his belief that fans were going to witness something unique.
Have you been seeing in him in this fight camp that's been different?
I love his energy.
Do you feel he's loving this entire atmosphere?
I'm sure he is.
The villain role I think he's about to take on?
I'm sure he is.
Mm-hmm.
Bomac played down the rumors that Terence Crawford and Ennis had sparred before Canelo. Crawford's trainer dismissed it, claiming it wasn't a big deal within their camp, despite some fans and commentators trying to make it a major plot point.
Does that show you guys that he's taking things serious? That he's taking.
I don't give a damn about all that, man. Nobody give a fuck about that. Everybody else try to make a big deal about it, but I don't. I don't care.
Yeah.
This fight is a collision of skill, power, and legacy rather than just another fight for the headlines. Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez are headed in a direction that has the potential to permanently alter the pound-for-pound discourse, and every sparring session and comment from trainers such as Bomac only serves to fuel the flames. All conversation ends, and history begins when the bell rings. Now is your chance to participate if you've been watching this build-up as intently as we have. Share your predictions in the space provided below. Click like, subscribe for more breakdowns, and let us know who you think will win when these two fighters finally square off in the spotlight.